Hello everybody, it is Glass Half Dead here, and today I've just finished live streaming, been up since 5:15 in the morning. Why did I do that? I don't even know. But we have the Arbites and the Drukhari. I'm pretty hyped, okay? Again, I just finished the stream and I just want to get it out there. I was really excited when they came on, but I think it might have just been the flash and excitement of a cool looking video which you can watch yourself here if you want. However, let's go down the list, let's see what we can see and see if we can see. As you can tell, I've really clicked through a few things here. Let's see if we can guess what these teams are. So first things first, base sizes. Now why do we start with the base sizes? Because some people like to get started building, and lads, I've already done that. Okay, I took a bit of a stab because I had some Drukhari anyway, and I was like, I've dropped my model, and I was like, you know what? Let's I don't like hobby. I want to get it done as quickly as possible. So whilst I had it out, whilst I was in the mood, I sat down and I made a few extra Cabalite warriors. Not many, but a few. And it looks like when we get to there, it looks like I might have gotten it correct, but we'll get to that in a second. But the reason that's important to know that they are still on 25mm bases is if they had been on 28, because a lot of the Eldar models have been upgraded to 28mm models, you know, suddenly I'd have had to have redone them all. However, it looks like from what we can see, the Arbites are on 32mm bases. That's the first thing to note, okay? If you've got some super cool, idea for a conversion of your Arbites, or you want to use your super old metal models or whatever, they seem to be on 32mm bases. Cool. First things first, our boy here, look at this guy. Big helmet, loudspeaker. Yeah, he seems to be our leader. If we zoom in, we see that all of these models have a little thing hanging, off their belts. It seems to be a fist, like that. I'm just going to not comment on it. Just note that it's there, and it's a little bit weird that they've put that on a police force. Moving on. So it seems that this team is a 10 model team plus a dog, or a 10 model team including a dog. But there will be 10 models plus a dog in the box. But whether we swap one out, like we swap out a squig or whatever in commandos, who knows. Your primary weapons are shotguns. And it seems if you wanted to run this team in 40k, you'd build everybody as a regular shotgun dude, apart from a leader, I assume, who has a shotgun. But obviously, because we're kill team, we're building the specialists. Do note, on the stream, they said you get 10 models for the Arbites, but there are 36 build options. Now, they said that like it's a good thing, and I think they might not understand, right? I don't want to say the word, but they have, mental capacity issues. That's a really bad thing. So anyway, if you want to buy 3 whole teams so that you can build every option, you can do that. And some people will, and that's great for them. Anyway, looks like we've got a Leah. Now, obviously, him having that big loudspeaker drone probably means something. Does it mean he's going to always have an aura effect on? Does it mean he's going to be able to have a debuff effect on? Who knows? Moving along. You see just a lot of dudes with shotguns. Cool. And this is one of our specialists here. Obviously, he's wearing a gimp mask. Very 40k. No need to really... He's like, okay, fine. And he's got shackles, Soulshackle. So he's got shackles and some sort of stun mace. And I assume that the shackles here are going to represent some sort of debuff you can apply to the enemy. Is it going to be as boring as you have stun? Right? Is it just your weapon gets the stun special rule? Don't know. Could it be you can't fall back out of melee from him, which is something that witches have access to employ from Comorite, I believe? Don't know. I think it would be fun to see a -1 APL aura around him, as opposed to it just being like a stun effect. That would be very interesting. Although, let's just hope that the rules writers have figured out now how APL works, and so it won't need a day one patch saying that, yes, this does work, even when it's an interrupt in the middle of the activation, like they had to do with the recent Phobos stun mine thing. They had to make it, they had to brute force that rule to work in the middle of an activation. We then get a sniper. As I said on stream, this team specifically is all about bringing back prisoners. So, of course, it has a sniper. This guy here has special, iconography on his van brace. So, presumably, is some sort of second in command guy. And also, if we just go ahead and accept that these are Judge Dredd, he has a pistol instead of a shotgun. So, maybe he gets some sort of aura buff thing, and so he is less, and so because he gets the special rule ability, he is therefore less strong in shooting, right? So just the pistol is worse than the shotgun. Very possible. However, it's also possible that if we embrace the Judge Dredd vibe, that whereas the shotgun just gets one option, the pistol gets multiple options, because, in Judge Dredd, you can speak into the pistol, and then you get, your explosive round, your shock round, whatever. We then have the silhouette revealed dude here with the shield. He's probably going to have stun on this, and he's going to be able to parry 2 because of his shield. Nice. I was dying for that cough, oh my god. This is your medic. He's a medic. Yeah. Because why? Because it's another 10 model 7 wound APL2 team. That's why. So you've got a medic, you've got a comms, you've got a leader that can do a thing. GA2 or +1 APL, who knows? Again, going back to bringing people in alive as prisoners, we have a heavy weapons guy. This guy seems to be our Auspex. Yeah, I don't know what he's going to do. This little handheld device looks like an Auspex. And he also has night vision, which is interesting. And I would say, oh, maybe he can see through smoke in that case, or he himself won't get obscured, or he will be able to remove obscured on others. But this team is almost exclusively a 6-inch range team. Apart from, it seems, the sniper and the heavy weapon dude. So, not that big of a deal, really. And for whatever reason, this gun here, which is covered by me so brilliantly, brilliant. For whatever reason, just looks a little bit reminiscent of the Commando's comms boy and his pistol. So maybe this is similar to that, in that it's a very odd weapon, but so it's only like 1/1 damage, but it's really there to stun the enemy. And finally, we have K9 or Rover, whichever one they're calling this guy. Dogs in Kill Team tend to, it seems, have 4 circle move, so that's kind of their big thing. And presumably it will be very, very, very similar to Crute Hounds and to the Aximilian dog. It's not called Aximilian anymore, is it? But the other dogs, where it will be able to do the fetch thing, blah, blah, blah. But also, maybe it has more to that. It does look rather more noble and chunky. So we shall see. And this is, of course, his handler, who has a leash, because a robot dog does need a physical leather leash, as we all know. And he's got a pistol. So either boring pistol or cool pistol, we don't know. Let's keep going down. They did tell us the name. It was Exactus Force, I think. Here we go. Exaction Squad. That's their actual team name. They won't be called Arbites, they will be called Exaction Squad. And it says, blah, 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 including, so, Proctor Exactant, Churguant. Really? Okay. And the Cyber Mastiff handling Leashmaster. You can also run them all as shotgun toting vigilance or riot shielded subductor squads for 40k games. So there are going to be enough spare options on the sprue to do all shotguns or all riot shields. The question is, are we going to be able to do that in Kill Team? Are we going to have the option to run all shields? Because if so, that's interesting, is all I can say. Or is it going to be a little bit more restrained and they're going to say you can only take one of each? But I assume they would allow you to take every single shotgun option. But I assume whoever the basic loadout is, the warrior, the standard guy, if they give that standard guy and say, the standard wording is that the warrior is the only model that can be taken more than once, right? Everything else, the specialist can only take once. But if they give that warrior the option of, on this warrior, you can either take shotgun or riot shield, I'm just saying that could be very, very interesting. And then we get to the Drukhari. Now, you might be aware, I currently am on a bit of a Drukhari kick. And so I have just, essentially, put together a Cabalite warrior. I put together an Incubi team, because I bought an Incubi box and a Scourge box, and they're going to be proxied as Phobos, right? But then whilst doing that, I needed extra bits, and so I bought a Cabalite box, kind of on the assumption that they would be this team, based on what we saw, and I stole a Dark Lance from it to be my marksman for Phobos. So I've just studied this kit in depth, and I've got to be honest, I'm not sure if it's okay. Anyway, basically 10 model team, because that's what comes in the Cabalite box. Oh, how many models on the board? No clue. Obviously, I would assume 9, same as Corsairs, but maybe it's 10 because that's what's in the box. Don't know. We don't know the rules, so it's all a guess. However, you know what? Let's go through. Let's go through. So this is your leader. Blast pistol paired with a sword. Therefore, I will assume that the splinter pistol that is also on the kit will be shared with the whip. And the whip is actually called an agonizer. And I believe, weirdly, the agonizer is the power weapon in this combo, which therefore makes sense that this, what's it called? Poison sword. It's not a power sword, it's a poison sword, I think. Gets paired with the blast pistol. Cool. Blast pistol, super OP. This here is a, what are they called? Oh my god, a rack head. There you go, racks. And then 2 rack weapons. So, thematically, super cool. Like, really cool that we now have a rack model in Cabalite armor. That's awesome. We then go over here. This is a shredder. This is a standard model. This isn't new. And with that janky face, I think we can agree with that. Although, looking at this face, looks equally janky, but this is a new head, I think. This looks like a witch head to me. And therefore, that head is not on the Cabalite sprue. I could be wrong. However, the rest of this model, I think this model is just one new arm. However, this weapon is I can't remember the name, but it's a razor flail. It's a razor flail from the witch squad. So witch head, razor flail. Heavy weapon, no modifications here. This one right here. There you go. I built all the specials and heavy weapons because I assumed that they would be needed. Again, I assumed that the heavy weapon here, although being a splinter cannon, could be swapped for the Dark Lance, and I assume that the Shredder could be swapped for a Blaster. So if you're looking to pre-build some stuff, it seems like those are solid picks. Then we have this young lad here. I think that is a new head, but it's definitely a new arm and a new pistol here. This looks... I don't know if this is a liquefier or if it's a needle gun. A liquefier... No, it's not a liquefier, is it? A liquefier would give them access to a flame weapon, which would be super cool. But I think this is therefore some sort of toxin pistol. So it's going to have some sort of crazy high critical damage, but then relatively low normal damage. That seems to be how they do poison. But he also clearly still has access to a splinter rifle. So, oh yes, the bird model. Yeah, okay. So this model here is just a standard model, to be clear, but with 2 arms, 2 new arms. This is a new splinter rifle, definitely, because there isn't a splinter rifle with a feather on it, so that is new. And obviously there's no bird already. This here I had originally mistaken for being a new model, but it's not. This little thing here, like the little silver line, made me think it was something else, but it's not. That does already exist on the sprue. I had just never realized that it's a bayonet hook, and that's what it's for. So, this is a regular dude. Now this is important. Why is a regular dude being shown like in the models they're showing off? Because, and obviously this is all speculation, right? But because you're going to have to take some, because there aren't enough specialists that you fill out the full roster. It seems from what we saw, you are going to have to take 1 or 2, presumably, or more, I don't know, of just a regular dude with a splinter rifle. Now, and I will also say, we basically know what this does because we've seen how a splinter rifle works and how a Cabalite warrior works in the compendium. These aren't good. So a little bit concerned about the power level of the team. This guy here is just a new splinter, but that's not a splinter pistol. Or if it is, it looks different to the others. And a grenade. So cool. And then we're done. And I just want to... 5 specialists. Okay? That's what we have here. And most of these are going to be really... So again, I'm pretty excited for Drukhari in general. And I have no idea what their rules are going to be, right? But model-wise, they're not doing much here, are they? So it's really cool from a lore perspective, like, oh, awesome, we have the Witch Cabalite Warrior, and we have the Rak Cabalite Warrior. And what might that mean for Cabalite squads in general, and for, like, the mixing in the future, and blah, blah, blah. But the models... this is your leader. It's just a new head. This one has a new back piece, that flowing tabard at the back. 2 arms and a head. 1 arm, 1 head. 2 arms and a head. 2 arms. 1 arm. Maybe 2 arms. 2 arms and a head. 2 arms and a head. That's going to be the tiniest little upgrade sprue. We wait till we get it, right? We wait till we get it. But of these 2 teams, even though I am currently on the Drukhari train, this seems like a bit of a flub. It's just a bit like, oh, some arms. Woo. Yeah. So that's not great. That's not great. Do we find out what they're called? Cavalry, a packed upgrade sprue. Not sure about that. You can make a range of specialists, including an Archon. Really? Just a new head and it gets a new name. Okay. Crimson Duelist, and even a Sky Splinter Assassin. It's not going to tell us what the team's called? No. Okay. Oh my god, they're not just called Cabalite Warriors. No, they said their name in the stream and it's cooler than that. Okay. Then, of course, we are also going to get here new stuff. It was said in the stream that there are now breachable walls. And I'm just going to come right out and say it. This is the narrative terrain. There's going to be breachable walls in the narrative. I will put money on the fact that these breachable walls and the way it was phrased on the stream is just for the narrative, okay? I could be wrong. I could be wrong. It does seem like you get a lot of these, and if you look at this board, it actually looks pretty packed with how much stuff is there. So that's cool. Also, just looking at it here, can we zoom in? I realise I'm zooming in about narrative stuff here, but look at that. That, to me, looks like some way, again, a narrative piece of terrain that is holding a door shut. That's cool. So you'll be able to block doors, but then you'll also be able to breach walls. You know, if anybody played narrative, that would be really cool. It'd be really cool to know if that's fun or not, you know? Okay. Oh, and that's it. I've got to say, model-wise, despite my current hype for Drukhari, it's a clear win for Arbites. Man, I'm actually suddenly, as I've talked myself through it, I'm actually really concerned for the Drukhari from a model perspective, and I'm really concerned for the Arbites from a rules perspective, because we don't, you know, this is only the 3rd ever Eldar team, and Harlequins don't count. So this is the 2nd ever Eldar team, right? So cool, we need another one. That's good. How many of these do we have? How many APL 2 7 wound model teams do we have? I will say they're on 32 mil bases. Maybe that has given them the joie de vivre they need to be different. Because they're not on a 25 mil base. So maybe there be 8 wounds. I doubt there'd be APL 3, they're still humans, but like, maybe they'd be hitting on 3s. Who knows? Maybe, I mean, that's chunky armor. Maybe that's a 4-up save, you know? I don't know. So for the Drukhari, I'm pretty concerned and worried about the models. And for the Arbites, I'm pretty concerned and worried about the rules. There you go. However, with that said, again, I am pretty hyped on it all. So with that said, thank you very much for watching until the end of the video. And if you made it to the end of the video, I realised that I forgot to give you a double hello at the beginning. And therefore, I would like to give you, if you're a subscriber to the channel, I'd like to give you a double hello. And if you made it to the end of the video, I'd like to give you a big triple hello. It's really early and I'm quite tired. I am hyped on. I'm excited for it, but I do have my reservations, and I hope that we start to see some rules previews, so that we have something, a little something to sink our teeth into. Everybody, thanks so much for watching. Please let me know what you think about these teams and about these models. Have a good one. Bye.